Yeah, Shalom. Want to give praises on and glory to Yahweh Shema Shaba Shamra Kakadash. And double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. They told me the truth. And yeah, man. I found this little video right here, man. But obviously, yeah, I started watching it, but I just thought, you know what? I might as well just do a video. You know what I'm saying?
Or people who live in like the project or things like that, they are systematically kept to stay there. That's why people are selling drugs. That is what they have to do to live, because the government doesn't give them an opportunity to advance or be who they want to be.
Joining a gang, speaking like an idiot, not understanding the English language, cutting words off, saying like axe instead of ask, listening to hip hop music, being a whore, shaking ass, twerking. These are all black culture things that are a problem.
All racists can do all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see, the problem with that is that's because of the classes. And then, even then, that just shows you, man. The so-called Negroes over there, or the tribe of Judah, or you could say Howdah. Obviously, it's this Nignog, which this Nignog right here. If you understood the scriptures, he'll know that. But obviously, he's an idiot at sometimes. But yeah.
But it's black culture that promotes it the most.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm a woman here arguing feminism, but that's just because
Sure.
that's what I'm passionate about. And I just think that, do you think like equality is the way to improve America?
Equality is a way to build America? No.
Why not?
Because when you go ahead and you prioritize equality, you put people in positions that they don't necessarily deserve because you want to be equal.
But before you just said that like it's good to share ideas with everybody, and that's how we improve America.
Yeah, but the ability to share your ideas is contingent upon your competency. So in other words, not everyone's ideology or everyone's opinion matters. And I think that's actually a big issue where we sit here and we take opinions of people that quite frankly aren't qualified or, competent enough to give their ideas.
Well, I think everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Even retards?
You shouldn't use that word unless they're medically deficient and yeah, it's an offensive word, and I guess you'll laugh at me, but that's okay.
Well, this is exactly why women should be in positions of power, because she's already offended off of a word.
I'm not offended.
You're like, we shouldn't use that word.
It's just not a good
It's
word.
words.
No, it is a word, yes, but words have meaning. They have a lot
Words
of
are
meaning.
words. What is it? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I think that's very powerful. We need to get back to using that.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, like, if you get offended off words, then holy shit, like, we can't even have a real conversation if words are what is. But it's fine. We can entertain it here. But yeah, I mean, look, everyone can be entitled to their opinion, but that does not necessarily mean that you deserve for your opinion to be heard.
Okay, sure, whatever. I just think that you coming up here is why men are the way they are. You're spreading hateful words, which I think is crazy. USC even allowed you to come up here and spread.
It's America, First Amendment.
Yeah, but then you just said other people don't have right to opinions.
Yeah. No, again, everyone has freedom of speech, but not all speech matters.
That's not true. All speech matters.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Your speech mattering is contingent upon your competency and your ideas, and you actually not being a retard, and you being intelligent, being able to convey your ideas in a certain way. Like, there's a reason why people listen to certain people, because they're like, okay, this guy has, good tonality, he's able to speak, he's able to convey himself. No one wants to listen to a bumbling idiot stutter all day like Peter Thiel.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I do agree with that. People have to know how to form their words to get to people who they want to reach.
Absolutely.
And I do agree with that. But I think the fact that what you're spreading, you're the reason why men are the way they are today and why it's so hateful still towards women. That's why feminism exists, because we're tired of being hit. We're tired of being at the lower bottom of the food chain. And if for you, for some reason, that's like a problem, because obviously you think we shouldn't have the same rights. You think we shouldn't be equal.
Yeah, I think we need to go back to being second-class citizens, if we're going to be honest. I don't think you should have the...
Skirt. Yeah, that's long, man. I'm gonna have to. Notifications. What is the point anyway? I don't even see the point in that. Like, what notification am I gonna get from this app? And it's simple, really. It is the anointed. The anointed. Yeah, it's as simple as this, man. 1 Corinthians 11:3, and it says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ." But if you really want to know what that actually means, it goes into the word anointed. And the head of the woman is the man. And the head of the anointed, or Christ, is God. In which, obviously, that God being the Most High, being Yahweh, which He exists. And we're all going to know when He executes those judgments.
Have the right to vote either, because you guys tend to put idiots in office.
Idiots in office?
You guys do realize that if
What do
we
you
had to
think
rely on the female
percent that
vote,
voted
Kamala
for
Harris would be
Trump
president of the United States right now. Do you guys understand that? Like, we'd be fucking cooked. And that's what happens when you let women get into positions of power.
Well, when men are positioned of power, they cause wars.
Actually, they've done a study on this, and it's women are more likely to cause wars when in position of power.
But how many wars have been started by men?
Well, men obviously have been the leaders of majority of the time,
Okay.
but when women are in positions of power, they're more likely to start wars. Actually,
That doesn't even make sense. How you don't
Yes.
have, you're not even on the basis to prove that because
And you see it going into all that war stuff. That's what Esau's for. He loves war. He loves his sword. And even then, man, it's a simple look of scripture. And you know what? There's another scripture that I wanted. You take up the sword. Let's hope I can find it. You're going to person which you feared to overtake in the land of Egypt. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Is it take the sword? I can't really remember. Uriah. Mm. My little brother's out here watching SpongeBob. SpongeBob? Here it is. Matthew 26:52. It said, "Then said Yahweh Shai unto him, Put up again thy sword." Hey, relax. It said, "Put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword." So, yeah, man. And as for Esau, we already know what he's on. As he makes mention, yeah, it says verse 39. Actually, let me start at 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father, bless me, even me also? O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So yeah, they're going to have the best of the dwelling places, man. And of the dew of heaven from above, even even going to them planes, man. And them private jets. You see them, they be flying, man. They can go anywhere they want. And it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, the rulership, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So yeah, at this point, you know what, let me continue. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, or in his mind, go into the word, Lob, the days of mourning of my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. But obviously, Rebecca, his mother, basically warned him. It says, and these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebecca. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold thy brother Esau, hath touched in thee, doeth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. So yeah, he's he's basically made mention of the way to satisfy him is to take his own brother's life. But yeah.
Because you guys haven't allowed women to be in positions of power.
I'm
So
saying
very
when
recently.
they have been in positions of power, they're more likely to create wars.
That
And you know what
doesn't
the
make
other
sense.
part is too? That's funny. Women actually prefer to be under male authority. Like when they polled women, would you rather work for a man or a woman? Most women actually prefer to work for men versus working for women, because the problem with women is that when you guys have your little circles and everything else like that, like you guys have like this weird like you know, beef and stuff like that, where you guys don't really convey your ideologies to each other. It's like, oh, I don't like her because she's pretty, so like, eh. Like, you guys lie to each other all the time. For example, girls will go out, like, let's say you guys are gonna go to the club, right? And like, there's one fat girl in the group, and she's wearing a dress, and she looks like shit. You guys will sit there and be like, oh, like, put on this dress because it'll look better. When in reality, you just don't want to tell her that she looks fat, and you guys are gonna get in. Like with men, it's not the same. We're around each other. Hey, dude, you look like change. We gotta fucking get in here, you know, whatever. Like men are honest with each other. Women aren't, right? And that's a problem. And that bleeds into many other different things.
Yeah, I do agree that women being fake towards each other is a problem, because the only way we'll advance or be better or get tired of all this bigotry and hatred is the fact
Bigotry
that
is
we
good.
work together.
Bigotry is good
Why?
because it identifies problems a lot of the time, so you can recognize pattern and then, you know, put yourself in a position where it's like, damn, I'm walking down the street right now, it's 4 black guys, I'm gonna cross. Like, I'm obviously being funny here a little bit, but the reality is, like, pattern recognition is good. I'll give you an example. Like, as you were coming up to the mic, you were very polite and everything else like that. Nice, you know, voice, whatever. So you're, like, beating stereotypes. But normally girls that look like you are like, oh, what you talking about?
Oh, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
It's the truth.
We are not being racist on this. No.
It's crazy.
Racism is the reality.
Yes, it is a reality.
Yeah.
But
It's crazy. I literally just read the title of this video here, man. This video right here. And to be honest, no, I do not want to see that. Yeah, that's better. Bro, disgusting women, man. Well, I guess that was a judgment for that dude. So she had chlamydia. And she let dude hit. And now, dude fucked up now. Yeah, sedition. There's nothing but sedition. Well, let's carry on.
That doesn't make it okay. I don't know what your race is or anything, but you obviously have darker skin.
Yeah.
So obviously, even when you're walking down the street, people are gonna judge you. You are not the top of the food chain that you think. Above you are white men. And even now, when you're preaching to them, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I get it," but they still don't like you because
So-
of what you look like.
So here's the thing that I really like that you said that. So here's the thing, right? What I've realized with men is men typically operate on competency and meritocracy. So in other words, if a guy's competent and he's doing what he's supposed to do and he's successful, other men respect that regardless of skin color.
That's
Because men,
not
we are
true.
hierarchical, women are not. You guys are based
That's
on
not
like,
true.
oh, who's the prettiest and who's cool. Like, you guys are not like us when it comes to status, right? Or understanding meritocracy. Like, men are value-based. For example, with a group of men, it's like, okay, this guy's the most competent, he's gonna be a leader. We have fucking identified roles immediately. There was a show called Bear Grylls, right? Like Survivor, where they had men on an island and women on an island. The men quickly assimilated into groups, figured out who was the most competent at what, had fire built, shelter built, clean water, etc. The women, on the other hand, almost fucking died because they didn't want to go ahead and kill a pig. They were bitching about other things. I don't want to do this, blah, blah. So in other words, it was pandemonium. They couldn't figure shit out. So the point is, regardless of skin color, a lot of the times, when it comes to men, we understand and respect talent. This is why some of the most racist guys will still acknowledge and be like, yeah, Michael Jordan was cool. Because men respect competency regardless of skin color. Women don't, though, a lot of times. You guys are based on some other weird shit. So despite the fact that you're saying like, oh yeah, these people are racist or whatever, the racism is fine. I don't give a shit about that because it's always gonna exist. I look at it like this. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. Don't be the stereotype. You're doing a good job of it right now. You're not being the Shaniqua that normally women are. So that's great.
Okay, sure, whatever. And I think that's just not okay to say. Obviously, people are raised.
Everyone here was
people-
thinking it when you
people-
walked up to the mic. They thought you were going to be like on some
Wonderful,
Shaniqua shit.
wonderful,
Why do you think they were going, oh?
Okay, actually, it's also depends on where you were raised. Hood or people who live in like the project or things like that, they are systematically kept to stay there. That's why people are selling drugs. That's why that's what they have to do to live because the government doesn't give them an opportunity to advance or be who they want to be. So you'll stereotype.
I think it's the culture. I don't think it's necessarily. I think it's a problem
Yes, the culture
culture. I
that
think
they're
there's
forced
also like
into.
genetics involved in it to a degree. Who is the congresswoman, a black one? What's her name? What's her name? The
Are
idiot
you
that
black?
always. She
Are
comes
you
from a
black?
rich, affluent
Are
area.
you black?
Yeah, I am. She comes
Okay.
from a rich. Even if I wasn't, it doesn't matter. Anyway,
does matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It's a word.
Obviously, you
Who
haven't
cares?
been. Have you been
What's her
affected
name,
by
guys?
racism
What's the
before?
fucking congress? What is it? Jasmine Crockett, bam. She comes from an affluent area. She talks like a fucking retard. She goes out and adheres to all the stereotypes, despite the fact that she didn't come from that. Why? Because it's culturally cool to be rude, obnoxious, loud, talk in a way where you're, destroying the English language and using ebonics. She doesn't come from that. But why is she doing that? To go ahead and get her constituents to think that she is the same, when she doesn't come from that. So we have a culture problem when it comes to the black community. Being is considered being cool. And I'm here to say it's not cool.
It's not cool on what term? Like in the terms of America or whatever?
Joining a gang, speaking like an idiot, not understanding the English language, cutting words off, saying like ax instead of ask, right? Listening to hip hop music, being a whore, shaking ass, twerking. These are all black culture things that are a problem.
All races can do all of those things.
What was that?
All races can do all of those things.
Yeah, but it's black culture that promotes it the most.
How is that true?
So isn't it crazy how like black people get mad at you if you like, talk about hip hop? That's our culture. And then I'm like, all right, well, that's your culture. No, how do you know it's not our culture? This is literally what black people talk about all the time. As a matter of fact, a lot of black activists will get mad if white people rap. They'll say, oh, he ain't one of us. Actually, as a matter of fact, we're gonna talk about racism. Blacks are some of the most racist people, we're gonna be honest.
I do agree that there is a big problem with racism in the black culture, especially towards other people of color. I do agree that is a really big problem. But that still doesn't make racism to other people okay.
It's a reality.
I know it is a reality, and that's why people fight it. That's why we try to make it.
I look at it like it's a reality. People aren't going to not be racist. It's your job to prove the stereotypes wrong because the stereotypes are always going to exist. Because the reality is people are always not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like they're going to assume certain things about you. And that's fine. It is what it is. It's life. Like we're going to assume Muslims are terrorists. We're going to assume blacks are criminals. Like white people can't dance and their chicken doesn't fucking get seasoned. Like we're just going to go ahead and assume these things. It is what it is. That's just the reality. Everyone has negative stereotypes. It's your job to prove the stereotypes wrong.
Oh yeah, I do agree with you on that point. I think it's good to prove stereotypes wrong, but I also don't think it's good for you to belittle people who fit the stereotypes.
I think it's good to belittle them that fit the stereotype. That's how you get them to change. That's another thing that we don't have. We need to bring back shaming.
I do agree.
Yeah, and bullying.
No, because bullying what
Shaming
leads
is
to
bullying.
suicide.
Shaming is bullying.
Bullying leads to.
I mean, here's the thing. People are soft nowadays.
We're not software aware.
No, they're soft.
People will talk about us being too woke, but now we just have more information and we're allowed to speak our opinions like I'm doing right now. We're allowed to speak our opinions.
Bullying is one of the best things that can happen, especially to men. It forces you to adapt. It forces you to go to the gym. It forces you to become stronger. It forces you to become not a retard. It forces you to become better. Like, I talk all the time. Like, for example, me, I was bullied as a kid. Me and one of my good friends, his name was Jordan Reed, right? He used to play for the 49ers. We grew up together. His brother, Brandon Reed, who ended up, getting a Super Bowl ring, etc., he used to bully us all the time. We used to get beat up. We couldn't beat them in basketball, but what did we do? We went in practice and we went to the basketball court to train to try to get better, and we eventually won a game against them. But we only did that because we had the fire in our ass to become better. Men need to be challenged. They need to be beat up a little bit. They need to take the L's. This is why, if we're going to be honest, like a lot of these movies aren't doing so well. Like these Marvel movies or these movies where it's the hero's journey and we're putting like women in it. The reality is like it's men that have to go through the hero's journey. It's not women, right? That's why Captain Marvel.
Well, dude's right. Looking at these movies now, it's trash. It's actually trash. People want to see the man catch hell like that and go through that tribulation. It's actually insane. Insane.
Don't give a fuck. Like, oh, you get powers from the beginning. Nobody cares. So, like, all these woke movies are losing because it doesn't adhere to reality. The underdog, the guy that wins at the end after getting their asses whooped, it's a masculine journey. Men need to get bullied and deal with adversity to grow stronger.
I think that could be applied to everybody of every gender.
Well, I would say for men even more so. I wish women bullied each other more, but you guys don't. That's why a lot of you guys are fat.
I got bullied by my sisters a lot when I was younger, but they just helped me be like a better person.
Well,
And I don't think saying that's like okay, because a lot of bullying, especially nowadays, now that people are just, they'll just say whatever they want, bullying leads to a lot more rates of. And you know who the most people are? Men, because men get bullied by other men and they think the only way they have to.
And even then, the woman's supposed to be tender and delicate. On the ground. Well, yeah. Deuteronomy 28:56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness. Obviously, this is about the curses. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. And then again, you see that all over in America, man. That's why there's so much fights. And I saw even Rebecca as well, man. But where is she? But why is it so hard to find the thing, man? And the best Rebecca. Yes, Jeremiah, not Jeremiah. Yeah, Genesis 24, man. And let me start. Oh yeah, verse 69. It says, and they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant, and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, Thou art our sister. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them. And even then, if you think about it, wait, who was Rebecca's? Yeah, that was Isaac. Yeah, that was Isaac, man. And even then, she did become a mother of thousands. If you want to go down to the line of Isaac and Rebecca, a lot of people, I should say, yeah, a lot of people came out of Isaac and Rebecca. But it says, and Rebecca arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels, and followed the man, and the servant took Rebekah, and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well. Bruh. Bro, I don't know how to I don't know how to pronounce it. But obviously you can see the word in this verse right here. You can see the word Lahairoi. It says, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the eventide, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. So then again, he seen Rebekah and the damsels. and this is the part right here, man. This is the part right here. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? So obviously, Isaac was a real man. As simple as that. And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore, she took a veil and covered herself. She covered herself. And even then, these women out here don't want to cover themselves. They don't want to show off everything. They literally want to show off everything. And even then, Rebekah wasn't even married. So there you go, man. She wasn't even married and she still covered herself. Which in my opinion, that's good, man. That's good. And so then the servant told Isaac all these things that he had done. And obviously, like it says, and Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, meaning he went in, and she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So yeah, evidently Rebekah was a feminine woman. So going ahead with this woman here talking about feminism, she's lost her mind. She's lost her mind, man.
To do this if they can't change is to kill themselves.
Yeah, it's because we live in a soft world.
And you continue to support
It's
that
because we live in a
ideology.
soft world where we don't tell guys that bullying is a rite of passage. We tell them, no, you should not be bullied. It's okay for you to be a depressed pussy. It's okay for you to be mediocre. It's okay for you to be broke. It's okay for you to be a skinny stick and be a fucking bitch. Like, we tell guys it's okay to be mediocre, but if we told them, look, you getting bullied is a rite of passage. Hazing is good. Getting your fucking stripes is good. Like, this is what we need to tell men instead so they become stronger and they don't become weak. And here's the thing, too, that you guys got to understand. It's the women that suffer from this. As these guys become softer and softer, and they don't want to ask you out on dates, or they tell you, let's go 50-50, or this other bullshit, who ends up losing? You guys lose because the men are weaker and don't want to do their jobs. So at the end of the day, weak men lead to hard times.
That's not true. I think you're preaching about what women want, but you're not a woman. And you'll see like, oh, every woman wants this, every woman wants this. First of all, every woman is different,
What?
every person
What
is
is that?
different.
Women are far more rigid in what they want than men are. Way more.
What do you mean by that?
Women are far pickier than men are, and they want very similar things.
I don't think that's true. That's just from my personal experience. I don't think that's
Right,
real.
it's-
Okay,
it's
look,
true,
see, we
man.
want to lie.
It's true. Women want the strongest. They want the strongest, man. The man with the most money. They also, and that's why you see these celebrities, man. Yeah, they're the status as well. They want a man with good status. Like literally. That's why you see all these celebrities, man. You got all these females chasing after the same guy, and they'll happily get in bed with him. And even then, the dude don't have to pay. The celebrity don't have to pay. They're gonna go in and do whatever they want to the celebrity. I mean, in a SEX way. And even them, and that just brings me back to Isaiah 4:1. Isaiah 4:1. It's a really simple scripture. As it says, and in that day, seven women shall take hold of one man. Meaning multiple women are gonna want one man in that time. Saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name. So yes, they want to be wise, man. They want to be wise. Obviously to take away their shame. Which that goes into reproach. It means shame. You know, and this is here, so I might as well quickly use it, man. What's it called? Reproach. Yeah, it says a rebuke, blame. It says censor. It says direct against the person. It says object of scorn or contempt. It says disgrace, blame, shame, disgrace. So yeah, man, they're going to be shameful in that day, man. In that time, they're going to be. Well, all I can say is their pride will be gone. Their pride will be gone. And even then, man, like you talk to these women on this, they be telling you, they be telling you to buy them, to buy them food, and to buy them clothes, buy them some heels. And in my opinion, you women can just get lost for real. You can get lost. You're gonna come around with your private parts smelling. But in this day, there will be smelling. Because obviously, there's gonna be things like famine. There's gonna be things like no water. And these women gonna be stinking, man. Stinking up the whole place, man. But even then, man, all I can say is a lot of you are going to be rejected in that day.
lie here and beat around the bush. The reality is that women want guys that are over 6 feet tall. They want the guy that's in shape, a guy that's competent, a guy that makes a lot of money. They want these things. Like, women are far more rigid and selective in their mating process than men are. So women will sit there and say, I care about personality and friendship. Yeah, that's assuming everything else is met that they don't want to talk about because they don't want to be looked at as surface level and shallow. But the reality is the things that women are looking for are pretty fucking standard, and they're just not honest about it.
Well, I think everybody has their preferences. Like what they want in a person is just who most people just want a good person. And when you're a good person, then there are more opportunities for you than just for like.
They've done
dating
studies on this.
people.
The variance in like what women find attractive versus what men find attractive. Women
Women
are
are based
far
on
more
physical-
narrow.
women are based
and
on
all the
physical
guys have the
appearances than
same
men.
archetype pretty much. Like versus for men, we're way more open with what we're attracted to. Women are not.
That is very much not true. All men must have the same preference, and it's already.
All right, let's go to the next
physical
person because
based.
we're short for time.
Actually, what did the dude say? At least you forgot what you just said. I'm right there. So I can't go back like that. Okay. Oh my god.
Or people who live in like the project or things like that, they are
Let me do that.
systematically kept to stay there. That's why people are selling drugs. That is what they have to do to
Oh
live because
my
the government
God.
doesn't give them an opportunity to advance or be who they want to be.
Joining a gang, speaking like an idiot, not understanding.
Okay. I know what I must do. Yep, lower. Oh my god. Oh. You know what? I'm just gonna switch it to this for now. There we go.
Than men are or are narrow.
Women are based
and
on
all the
physical
guys have the
appearances than
same
men.
archetype pretty much. Like versus for men, we're way more open with what we're attracted to. Women are.
And yes, that is true. A man will tell you what he wants. It's as simple as that. That's exactly what he's going to do. These women just be lying for their tea. And even then, man. And even then. Yeah, so okay, man. I was just looking at this. I was looking at this again. But yeah, she's a weird woman. She's definitely a weird one. Oh. Yeah, I think that's about it, man. Even then, I'm getting tired. In which, yeah, I'm gonna give all praises. Honor and glory to Yahweh, Shem Shai, Shem Rakakadash, and Shalom.